Bomb, and we're here to make you think about death and get sad and stuff.
Welcome, students, visitors, and YouTubers, to another fabulous episode of Manhood Academy Debates. We have with us a feminist Jess, hailing from someplace on the interwebs. Here
someplace all over the world. She's worldwide.
Intelligence and whether or not women should be involved in higher education or education in general.
No. I'll answer that right now. No.
All right, feminist Jess, I'm sure you've listened to our other debates. This debate will be recorded. We will not show the video footage, just the audio portion, and the audio will be distorted. Do you confess. Do you consent to be recorded for this debate?
On one condition.
What's that condition?
Can you make my voice sound like a robot and not like a hamster?
A robot. I don't know if we
don't control the editing.
If we individually edit you to sound like a robot, that means I'd have to sound like a robot. I'm not that advanced to figure out how to do that. I'll try something new, but I can't guarantee it. So I don't know if you're going to sound like a robot.
I sound like a hamster.
Yeah, you got to go hamster voice.
All right, sweet. So we have the consent. Professor, do we have your consent?
No.
Come on, just say
All
yes.
right, fine. Just this one time.
Thank you. All right, cool. Jessica, I understand you have some contentions with, basically you think we're unfair in saying that women don't deserve a higher education. They're not as intelligent as guys. Just briefly give us your opinion, set the stage for us.
Okay. To set the stage, I have a quote from one of my favorite political scientists, John Stuart Mill, if you may. Under whatever conditions and whatever limits, men are admitted to suffrage. There is not a shadow of a doubt that if not admitting women, I'm nervous.
Take your
under
time.
whatever conditions and with whatever limits, men are admitted to suffrage. There is not a shadow of justification for not admitting women to the same.
Okay, so basically saying men can vote, why not women? There's no justification for why women shouldn't vote.
The way that I would put Mill's quote there is that men deal with social injustice and political issues that give them the right to fully participate in society. Therefore, women should be able to have the same right because they also have political and social issues that they have to deal with. And if there's no representation for women, if they can't have a say in those political decisions, then no one's looking out for their best interests.
Well, I think that's a false equivocation that they're in the same position as men because
not the same position, but they're in a position.
Well, they have issues. Your claim is that because they have issues, just like men have issues, that they should be given the same rights. Is that correct? Or same voting rights? Is that correct? Same representation, same rights?
Okay. Since men and women have political and social issues that they have to deal with, then they should have the right to be able, if they want to fully participate in society. Because
but you're saying voting. You're saying voting. When you say fully participate in society, are you just making that a blanket statement, like you get to exist, or so you want specific rights, like I want the right to vote because men have the right to vote?
Political rights, and educational rights.
Okay, see, that's where I have a problem. They shouldn't have the same rights because rights come with responsibilities. For every right you have a responsibility. For example, if, Second Amendment right, you have a right to own a firearm, but you also have a responsibility not to shoot people. You have a responsibility to handle your weapon in a responsible manner, not leave it lying around where children can get access to it. First Amendment right, freedom of speech, we have freedom of assembly, but these also come with responsibilities. For example, we can't yell fire in a crowded theater, classic example, put people in danger with our speech. So with every right we have in society, we got a responsibility. So I agree with you that women should be represented, but I think men already represent women. And to say that they deserve the same rights as men is absurd. It's ludicrous. It's ridiculous because that means you would have to be bearing the same responsibility as us guys, which means you'd have to be working in the same coal mines. You'd have to be fighting in the front lines of the wars, alongside men, which you don't do. You'd have to be working in construction. You'd have to be doing, have the same requirements, like to get into the fire department. You couldn't have the standards lower just because you're a woman so you can get in and endanger the lives of other people in the process. So all these, you get privileges. You don't have responsibilities. You have privileges as a woman. If we're drinking, look, if you and me are drunk and we're on a date, let's pretend we're in love. We're not in love. Let's say I saw you at a party. I thought you were hot. I'm like, oh, nice ass. And I'm like, yeah, hey, I'm going to drink a beer. You're drinking a beer. We're at a party. And then we go home and fuck. And then you're like, oh, why did I fuck that guy so soon? Or I have a boyfriend. I shouldn't have done that. Guess who gets to bear the responsibility for that sexual act? I do. Not you. I do. That's why you shouldn't get a vote. Because you want to be treated like a child and have the same rights as an adult. That's That's absurd.
Why do I want to be treated like a child?
Because you want to be able to do things. You want to be able to have the same rights that I have, like the right to vote. But you don't want the same responsibilities that I have to bear as a man. For example, you're not, as a woman, there's no legal requirement for you to sign up to selective service because you're a woman.
There are countries where there's no requirement for men to sign up for legal services. And
Selective service, that means you can be conscripted.
Please let me respond.
Okay.
The reason that I can't sign up for services is because people are worried about population. There's a lot of rules in society have to do with population control because it's an important issue if you're looking at like the well-being of society in general. So if you send men and women, any able-bodied men and women to combat, you are lowering the population of women. And if you're looking at it from a logical point of view, it takes one guy to make 10 babies with 10 women. But if there was one woman and 10 guys, there's one baby getting made every time.
Yeah, but I don't give a fuck about that. I care about me losing my life. If I'm the only guy required to fight in a war, I don't give a fuck whether it's 100 men to one woman or 100 women to one man. I care that, hey, I am forced by my government to risk my life when I don't want to. Why aren't you forced to do the same if you want the same rights as me? You aren't forced like I am as a man, so you shouldn't get the same rights as me.
Okay. In Australia, that's where it says you're from?
Australia. No, we're in California.
You're in California. So, did you participate in a military draft?
We're not currently at war, but if let's say we needed a live body, I am already signed up as an American. I am forced to register, yes, with selective service.
Here in Canada, the men aren't. There are countries where the men aren't because you realize that it's
right. Okay, you're right. You're correct. You're correct. That's
an issue for men. It's not an issue against women. Just because women can't do it doesn't mean that women don't have issues that are important enough to give them the right to vote. Like
for example, look at a huge one across the globe is the equal pay wage supposed wage gap that exists, where women only get paid 70 cents for every dollar that a man makes. But women don't do the same work as men. They don't work the same hours, same hard jobs. They don't make the same economic decisions, career choices. They don't negotiate for raises the same. They don't do anything the same as men, and yet they still expect the same pay as men. This is, again, another example of privilege, what women get, men don't have, and that women now want the same rights. I mean, why are women clamoring to say, why are they always saying, in the media, oh, there's a lack of CEOs that are women. They're always pointing to, oh, there's always just these straight white heterosexual men are ruling the country. They're in corporations. We need to get more women in there. Well, if they're for equality, why aren't these feminists? Why aren't these women clamoring to get into the fire department, into the police department, into the Marines, into construction, into all the hard jobs that men do, into plumbing, into dirty jobs like sanitation? They don't do any of that.
Hold on a second. Quiet down. Jessica, if you feel like you're being talked over, you can appeal to me. I noticed that you're opening your mouth, but you're closing when Professor's speaking. You can appeal to me at any time and say, moderator, I'd like to finish my point.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so as I said, women aren't clamoring to get into these positions and work alongside men and bear the same burden that men bear, so they shouldn't get the same rights as men.
Okay, now that being said, there are women who are trying to get into those jobs. You can't say that women just don't want any of no women in the world has ever attempted to be part of any of those positions.
You're right.
That's not true.
You're right, but those are exceptions to the rule. Those aren't the rule.
Second of all, Deborah Tannen, who's a feminist, actually has a really interesting theory about the glass ceiling and why women don't hold high CEO positions. And there was a lot of interesting points made. None of them had to do with men putting women down because men are awesome and women are horrible and men are really intelligent and women aren't. Everything had to do with office demeanor.
It has nothing to do with office demeanor. I'll give you my own example, and other guys can testify the same. I work in an office.
Moderator.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. The reason that they don't possess those positions is because of the qualities that women possess, such as timidness, for example. Like right now when I'm talking, you obviously have a really good grip on how to talk to people and how to be assertive and get your point out, where I'm kind of shaky and I'm a little bit nervous right now. It's kind of a quality that I think women possess. So when it comes to office environments, Deborah Tannen noticed that women are a lot more timid. They're a lot less quick to take credit for their accomplishments. They like to share the accomplishments, say that the whole group did it as a whole. Men are a lot more proud. Look what I did. I did that. Isn't that amazing? It's qualitative differences between men and women that contribute to why women don't hold those positions. And another really interesting thing that she noticed was the people who got promotions to higher level, a woman could hold the same position as a woman and man could both hold the same position for 3 years. And my roommate just walked in, sorry, distracting. they could hold the same position for 15 years, and a CEO position pops up, it's a promotion. They can both apply for it, but it's a lot easier for the man to go, hey, do you want me to take you out to dinner and discuss business? It's harder for women to go up to men and be like, hey, let me take you out to dinner, we can discuss business, because it's often seen as a sexual thing. So there's so many reasons that people just decide to not discuss whenever it comes to the wage gap and disparity. Another thing is that positions that women typically have never held before, they're starting to hold now, and the more that women start to hold them, the more you start to realize, well, the conditions set in place for this job don't consider certain circumstances that women have to adhere to, such as pregnancy, unexpected pregnancy. You never have a man having to leave his high-paid position immediately because after he gets promoted because he got pregnant. You see women having to do that often, actually. They have to go on maternity leave, and some companies, especially in the United States, don't even offer paid maternity leave to women. It's a 3-month period of unpaid leave that you have to have your kid, get it out if you get like a month or 2 of love in, and then go back to work if you want to, otherwise you're screwed. And that's another thing that contributes, because a lot of the wage disparity has to do with length of years worked, and women who stop to have children and go back to work, they work for less years. Therefore, men make money because they're not raising kids, and it's another thing, there's no leave, or there's not a lot of leave for fathers either. So if fathers want to be the one to take off time to spend with their kids, and mothers want to stay in their career fields and work, it's economically beneficial for men to go to work instead of for women. So it's stupid to say that women don't go to work because they're less intelligent or inferior in some way. It's just circumstance.
Okay. Can I rebut?
Yes.
Okay, that's fucking retarded nonsense, and I'll cover all that. Okay, first of all, you say it's a matter of timidity, as if girls are just... Yes, girls are generally more timid than guys, but this whole academy is based on timid faggots. This academy wouldn't exist if guys spoke up. I mean, you have all of society supporting you. You know how many dumb girls I've had in my class who would raise their hand and give the most fucked-hearted answers you could imagine, and guys would roll their eyes, and guys would be like, what? And the teacher would shush them and say, you're being mean or you're being disrespectful. I'm like, that's the most fucking retarded answer ever. Meanwhile, if a guy gave that answer, they would jump on him and it'd be allowed, because there's this false artificial environment created where we have to handle women with kid gloves. We can't criticize girls because their self-esteem is so fragile. How can you even fucking run a society if every time you have a problem or an issue, you have to cater to someone's self-esteem? This is why feminists are such cowards when they debate, because they always make tone arguments. You're being mean to me. You're speaking angrily. You're speaking in a tone that frightens me, versus the actual substance. I mean, if I were to go to a guy and I was debating a guy about an issue and I said, excuse me, sir, you sound like you're speaking in a gruff tone. It frightens me. I would get punched in the face or laughed out of the building. I mean, it's absurd that women are allowed to do that. This just shows female privilege, that so many white knights would cater to a woman's delicate sensibilities as if this is the substance of an argument. How she feels is relevant to even if the argument is valid or not. I'm shouting, therefore there's no wage gap. What? It's only a female would pull such a retarded argument. And the only reason a woman would dare do that is because she has the backing from this feminist society. She has the backing of female teachers, and there's mostly female teachers in schools. She has the backing of faggot white knights in the classroom who will cower and cater and crawl under their desk and not say an ill word to a woman because they're so concerned with getting pussy. They think that the best way to get pussy, the best way to get laid is to kowtow to a woman and to defer to a woman and to always support a woman no matter how ridiculous she sounds. I can tell you how many times I've been in a cafe working on the ebook and been sitting to women, and by and large, women in cafes, if you want to hear female intelligence at work, all you got to do is go to any Starbucks, any Coffee Bean, any kind of cafe where women are talking, and you'll hear the most nonsensical, retarded, vapid, shallow conversations from women. And the reason you'll hear them is because these shallow women shout it at the top of their lungs across. I mean, I was at a cafe, and there's a table full of guys playing Magic the Gathering, and there's a lot of guys there, and they're next to me, and I can hear the murmurs because they're speaking. But guys are respectful of their tone. They're cognizant of that they're next to people, or they're either bashful or shy or timid. They know that socially it's weird to speak at a loud volume. Whereas there's two girls sitting way the fuck across the room. I can hear every fucking word they're saying because they're saying it that loud while they're talking to each other. And that's not the exception to the rule. That's the norm. If I was just to close my eyes and sit at a cafe, guarantee you I'm going to hear two loud cunts talking nonsensical jibber jabber about some guy, even while they're studying. I go to cafes, there's a lot of them generally are study cafes where there's a lot of seating with a lot of students, a lot of college students, and they have their books out algebra, geometry, biology, whatever, and they're still jibber-jabbering about guys and what are we doing on a vacation we're traveling to. Just utter bullshit and at a loud volume. Yes, guys are stupid and talk about stupid stuff too, but by and large, this is a female dynamic. Also, we're talking about this, I don't know which woman you referenced who said that men are proud and women are meeker, but this is a qualitative difference that she could just say without being accused of misandry, of hatred of men. I mean, if a man dares to say, well, look, women don't work as long as men, they don't work as many hours, therefore they shouldn't get paid the same as men, women instantly accuse the guy of misogyny. You hate women. How dare you use facts? You hate women. That's the blanket accusation. I'm talking. Shut your mouth. That's a blanket accusation from, well, hey, remember, look at, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is hypocrisy of women. I was forced to shut up when you're talking, and I'm like, okay, I gotta bite my tongue. These are stupid arguments you're making, but I gotta bite my tongue. See how you want to jump in too? I'm fine to do it either way. If you want to jump in and interrupt me, I want to jump in and interrupt you. I want to have the same rights as you. But you don't. You want special rights. You want to tell the moderator to shut me up, and that you still want to jump in and interrupt me. See, you don't even realize your own hypocrisy. And you're a prime example of what women are today. They're hypocrites because feminism allows them to be hypocrites. You're not forced to police your own behavior. You're not forced to take a look at yourself in the mirror and see how hypocritical you behave towards a man. But we are, because feminism is constantly trying to shame us and accuse us of being woman haters, misogynists. I mean, look at the recent Elliot Roger case where the guy shot up a school and more men than women were shot. And yet it's made it to, look at these guys who are concerned about their rights as men are now contributing to this guy shooting everybody. They're trying to blame this on guys who just want to have the same rights, have the same ability to get a job as a woman, and not have to worry about affirmative action, some cunt coming in and taking their job. Women are accusing men of being misogynist. Women are accusing men of creating mass murderers just because they care about men's rights. They're also doing it with pickup artists. You're saying, well, this guy was on a PUA hate forum, which is a forum dedicated to making fun of pickup artists. He's on a forum dedicated to making fun of pickup artists, and they take that, all the feminists out there, Jezebel, Huffington Post, CNN, all take that to mean he's a pickup artist, and all pickup artists are serial killers. Instant jump, instant demonization, because that's all feminists can do, is demonize men. So that's one of the things that men have to deal with that women don't even take into account, because they're not made to take that into account. Women aren't made to be responsible like men. You could say, you could say just misandry, just like you could say, make the claim about misogyny. Why aren't more men saying, hey, women, you hate men because X, Y, and Z, you're making these arguments against us? Men don't do that. They try to state the facts. They try to rebut with facts, with journals, with scientific references.
If you'd like to appeal to the moderator, just say, moderator, quiet him down. You don't need to make these little slide gestures. Just, if you want me to interrupt.
I saw asking if I could rebuttal, but then he told me to shut up. And
Yeah, I know. Just like an appeal to me. Right, Jessica, but look at Jessica. He's not in charge of this. I am. You appeal to me. You don't appeal to him.
Jess, just like you made long rambling points that I wanted to jump in on because they were so dumb, I wanted to interrupt you. But just like you wanted me to shut up while you're talking and give all your full points out, I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta listen to this retarded nonsense. So why aren't you doing me the same courtesy? Why aren't you waiting till I'm done and then you can rebut?
I have asked one time for a rebuttal because it seemed like a very long time. But
you proved my point. You're so oblivious to all the retarded points you made that I had to jot down little notes that I gotta rebut. I gotta remember every fucking retarded thing you said.
Too, man.
What's that?
I said I've been doing that too. You talked about girls in a cafe for like fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah, but you look at, I have a whole list of rebuttals for your idiotic points that I couldn't jump in and just rebut immediately. You made me wait. You made me wait, dummy. So why shouldn't you wait? Why shouldn't you do me the same courtesy I extend to you? Because you're a hypocrite, right?
Okay.
Because you're a hypocrite, right?
Okay, I'm a hypocrite. Are you going to continue on with your point?
Yes, I'm not done rebutting your retarded points. I have a lot to go through here. I wish I could just jump in while you were saying your retarded points.
You haven't even rebutted my points.
I am rebutting your points right now. You're too dumb to even hear them. Your mouth is running, just like a woman.
You're yelling so there's a wage gap? I never said that. That wasn't one of my arguments.
What?
You've been talking about arguments that aren't even mine.
Moderator, could you shut this dumb cunt up until I'm done? Just like she made me shut up through her whole speech and her whole rebuttal. Could you shut her up? Because I don't want this cunt interrupting me while I'm making my intelligent points. She's too dumb to grasp what I'm saying. So I want at least the male audience who's going to be hearing this debate to hear her hypocrisy and her stupidity as I rebut each of her retarded points that I was forced to wait through. Okay, more of her fucking retarded nonsense. She's complaining, and this girl in this article I read is complaining that women aren't in CEO positions. Again, I already made that point, but this dumb cunt, it went in one ear and out the other. I said, if women are so into equality, why are they only concerned with CEO positions? Why aren't they concerned with coal mines? Why not the fire department? Why not equal numbers in the military? They're not, because just like you, they're cowards and hypocrites. They don't care about equal responsibilities. They just want privileges. Just like every spoiled little brat out there. Me, gimme. That's you. You're a spoiled little brat. And I like how these dumb cunts are harping on CEO positions as if CEO positions are in the same abundance as like plumbers. What do you think is in greater numbers out there or in more need out there? Sanitation workers or CEOs? I mean, if you look at the percentages, it's nonsensical to even complain about the CEO position when such a small fraction of women who are even qualified are even going to be in those positions. The bigger positions that rule society or that make sure that society runs are the ones we need the women in if they're going to fucking cry about and whine about not being paid the same. Get them in the fire department. Get them in the police department. Get them sweeping the streets. Get them working construction. Get them working in big percentage jobs where a lot of people work, not just a small section of CEO environment. Nobody here is the CEO. We're all guys. We're not, oh gosh, society's being mean to us. We're not CEOs. That's a bullshit, retarded argument. Fire department, police department, pregnancy is a choice. Okay, I wrote down pregnancy is a choice because you said, you complain, oh, women don't get maternity leave. It's so sad. You dumb bitch. It's a choice for you to get pregnant. You chose to get pregnant. That's your fault. Why are you blaming me for your stupid choice? If you want to fuck a guy and get pregnant and have a baby so you satisfy your nurturing instinct, that's on you, you dumb cunt. You can also not have a baby like other women who sacrifice their lives to work in those CEO positions that you are whining that you don't have. Even corporate women tell you the same fucking thing. They say, look, women, stop whining. You realize if you want to have a CEO position like a man, you got to make sacrifices. And sometimes those sacrifices are hard sacrifices that include not being able to have a kid because you can't fucking be there to take care of it because it requires too much time in the office. Like, men are willing to sacrifice and spend that time. And the Labor Department statistics that record every hour that is worked, at least it's above table there that we know of, it says that more men are working longer, harder hours than women. Bottom line. And that's where women get that figure from, by the way. So that's a small, that's your choice if you want to get pregnant. Let me get maternity leave. Oh, and by the way, fathers, very frowned upon, and they often don't get the right to say, oh, I got a baby at home. I'm a father. Can I have paternity leave? No. Women get that. Men don't. By and large, men don't. Again, we see a further example of rights without responsibilities that women want. Women work part-time. They fucking travel. So many women have the option when they're out of school. You know what? I want to travel Europe. I want to go to Hawaii. I want to visit here. I want to take a year off. Guys, just fucking go to work. The fact that you're saying part of the reason why women don't earn more is they take part-time work. No shit. Whose decision is that? You think if I want to fucking earn less, I can just go, hey, I'm going to go vacation in Hawaii. I'll take a year off work. I'll just work where I find. I'll work at a hot dog stand every now and then. How much do you think I get fucking paid? Do you think I get paid the same as a CEO, a male CEO? More important question, do you think I deserve to get the same pay as a male CEO who's dedicated himself to the job? He's sacrificed vacation time. I've got to call her all her fucking points. What do you want me to do? You want me to not rebut her points?
I want to give her chance to rebut.
Yeah, she can rebut. I got 2 more points.
So,
I got 2 more points to make.
Teachers in school. Most of the feminist ideas that I was taught in high school were taught to me by my male teachers, who were all really, 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 really intelligent and inspiring and awesome. They've gotten, well, my one history teacher got an award, and he was great. Plus, there are female teachers who go in fields like science and math, like you say that apparently women don't exist in. Second of all,
can I interrupt, or do I gotta wait for your stupid speech to end?
Why didn't he finish rebutting all her points? I want to listen to him rebutting all her points.
He wasn't actually rebutting most of my points.
You don't make sense.
Excuse me, hold on. First of all, don't fucking interrupt. You're getting kicked out. The audience is never allowed to interrupt, so don't ever fucking interrupt during the debate. Number 2, moderator. Is this a time issue? I mean, I don't understand why you're muting me and letting her rebut when I haven't even finished my rebuttal.
It's not a filibuster. You don't get to talk the entire time.
All right, I'm not talking the entire time. I'm reading from my notes on your fucking retarded arguments. I'm rebutting each one. So, do you want me to rebut or not? You want to censor my view? You want to have a debate, and yet you want to censor my rebuttal. How is that a debate?
Oh, now we're back on the censorship conversation.
Well, you're the dumb cunt who wants to speak over me. You want to speak over me, and yet you don't want me to rebut you? How is that not censorship, you dumb cunt?
All right, Jessica, I gave you a chance to make your rebuttal. You didn't make it. Professor, finish your points.
I want to finish my points, then she can rebut all she wants. I want to know if this dumb cunt wants to be able to have a debate where I can talk and she can talk at the same time, or do we have to wait? What do you want? What do you prefer?
He interrupted my rebuttal, and then
What do you prefer? I'm not even done with my rebuttal, you dumb cunt. I'm not done with my rebuttal, you dumb cunt.
But he told me that I could.
No, listen. I want to know how you want to do this. Look, do you want to be able to talk and I talk and you interrupt and you talk and I can interrupt and rebut at the same time? Or do you want to have it so that you get to say your long, rambling, dumb, retarded speech and then I gotta wait and then rebut like I'm doing now? Which is it? Make up your mind.
I want to say my dumb, long, retarded speech.
Okay, so then you can wait. Great, so then you can wait for my intelligent rebuttal. If you want to make your dumb, retarded speech and you want to make me wait, don't be an entitlement-minded cunt like we all know you are. Why don't you wait for my rebuttal, my intelligent rebuttal? Just like I have to wait. See? That's called being an adult. Same responsibility, same right. Use your brain. I know you don't have one, but try. Okay. Women work part-time. We covered the travel part. So, again, women, you're complaining that women don't make the same because they work part-time. That's part of the reason why they don't make the same as men is they take vacations, they take part-time, they don't work in jobs that are commitments. They want to be fucking bloggers. They want to be some temporary job, a news reporter, work in psychology, some bullshit job that doesn't require a lot of hard sciences and that earns a lot of money. They make the decision. Women are in sciences. Women should be in careers since they're, okay, women shouldn't be in careers if they have a baby. If you have a kid, you should be there for the kid to nurture the kid. Why do you think dumb cunts like you, single mothers, raise the vast majority of felons behind bars? Because you're so entitlement-minded and me-centered. You don't want to take care of your kid. You're the dumb cunt who had the kid. Why don't you take care of the kid? Why are you saying, I deserve to have it all. I deserve to have a kid and just throw him off into a nanny or a daycare where he gets fucked over and he becomes another felon, another serial killer, another Elliot Rodger. Oh, but by the way, I also want to be able to work as many hours and get paid the same as man. You want it both ways. You think it's fucking Burger King, and that is the problem. Go ahead, now you can rebut, and I'll shut up for your long, rambling speech.
Okay, so you haven't said a fact yet. You keep saying that what you're saying is intelligent. What I'm saying is ignorant, nonsensical bullshit made up, blah, 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 blah. But I just wanted to say that you can have a career and then have a baby. It's not impossible. You were yelling. You said that you were yelling, so there's a wage gap, was one of my arguments. But I never, ever once said that. I also didn't say that Deborah Tannen was complaining about women not being in CEO positions. She was explaining why. And a lot of people say that has to do with inferiority. I'm saying she was explaining that it has nothing to do with inferiority. I'm not saying that she was, well, women are CEOs, equality, we should be CEOs, we should be able to do whatever a man can do. Nobody ever said that. You insinuated a lot of your own points into my points and tried to make me, I guess, devalue what I was saying, and also called me a dumb cunt a bunch of times in an effort, I assume, to make me angry, but it didn't work because I realized that you seem like a complete idiot. Second of all, teen pregnancy exists, man. Abortion should be legal because kids don't think long-term. They can't think about their futures, and that has to do with men and women. Young, 16-year-olds shouldn't be having babies. It's bad for demographics. It's bad for the economy. Education is a factor in putting...
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but could you repeat the point? I missed the first part of it. Could you repeat it? I'm sorry.
Which point?
The start of that point you're making about the 16-year-olds. I missed it.
Okay, you were talking about pregnancy, and... Oh, I guess you were talking about pregnancy. Sorry, that was a leap of me. You were talking about pregnancy in regards to wage equity, and I was talking about pregnancy in abortion because I kind of got lost in your ramble. But you also talked about girls.
I'm just asking you to repeat the point because I didn't get it. I missed it. I was just wondering if you could repeat the point.
The last point that I made.
Yes, the last one.
Ignore it.
Okay.
I said it doesn't matter as I started. So you said it's my choice if I want to get pregnant. So I'm a dumb cunt and I need to take that responsibility and blah, 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 blah. But according to you, men should have total authority over me, and that includes my reproductive decisions. So it's my choice if I want to get pregnant, but men have total authority over me. So if I get pregnant because I'm having sex with a guy and he wants me to have the baby, it's completely in control of men whether or not I have a baby. So it's not my choice if I want to get pregnant. It's the man's choice. Specifically, if I was in a relationship with a guy who, let's say, didn't believe in wearing condoms, I don't have the authority over myself to say, you know what, I disagree with that decision. I don't think that we should have sex with a condom because I don't want to have a baby. By your standards, the man should be able to be like, well, you don't have rights, really, in that regard, so we're going to have sex with a condom and you're going to put a fucking smile on your face and you're going to like it. That is what I have a problem with. People having total control over you regardless of your well-being. And it's simple... Back to the initial topic of female education, because you really want... about female or education for women, and about Deborah Tannen and the wage gap, and you kind of just went on a rant about how stupid women are and how feminists don't take responsibility for their decisions, and feminists don't participate, or because of feminism, women don't participate in high-risk jobs like construction and the military and whatnot. But I didn't even get to say, you kept saying my points are stupid, but I didn't even get to say that I think that that's a huge problem, and I think that that's one of the hypocrisies of feminism. Like we were talking before the argument, where I was saying I think that I didn't want to come at this debate with a feminist perspective because I didn't want my ideas to get immediately disregarded and people to start going on rants about feminism whenever that's not what I'm talking about. And some nonsense about women traveling a lot and that affecting the wage disparity between men and women, when I'm pretty sure if there are traveling statistics available somewhere, which I'm not sure if there are, find them for me and show me all of the traveling women do that prevent them from getting higher paying jobs. That's not a little about your points, but if we could actually start talking about the debate topic, and that's education for women.
Okay, I'm going to rebut those, and then we can go on to education.
Awesome.
All right. You said you could have a career and then have a baby. It's not impossible. Yeah, you could also jump off a fucking cliff and not die. That's also possible, but it's not a good fucking idea. Dummy. You need to fucking do what's functional. What is a good idea? What is functional for society? What is good for your family? It's not a good idea for you to have a kid and work. You should be nurturing and taking care of the kid. Who's raising the kid? Babysitters, daycare workers, teachers you don't know? Why do you think single mothers fuck up so much with their kids? Because they don't fucking raise them. They're not in charge of their children. They want to do other things as well. They should learn about responsibility, which means if you make a choice, there's accountability attached to that choice. If you decide to make the choice to have a kid, you should take care of that kid. You shouldn't go, oh, I want to be a lean-in woman. I want to have it all. I want to have a career and a baby. Well, guess what? Your baby is the one that suffers. How about not being a child? How about being a fucking adult? How about being an adult and taking care of a kid and making a choice, just like male adults have to do? If they make a choice to go into a certain career because they want to work with people, but they're not working in hard sciences, so they're not going to get paid as much, men are going to go, well, fuck, I made the choice, I got to live with it. That's what you should do as a woman if you want the same rights as a man. You should live with your choice and not try to have it both ways, as I'm going to demonstrate from your other stupid points. You said my points aren't clear. Again, this is just a problem. You're a dumb woman. You're too dumb to grasp the points, and I'll demonstrate it when we get audience feedback, and they'll comment on how dumb you sound. Okay, here's a prime example of how dumb you are as a woman. You lecture me for me calling you a dumb cunt. You're just, oh, I'm just name calling. Right. As if I'm not describing you as a dumb cunt. I'm demonstrating you're a dumb cunt. I'm showing cause for why you're a dumb cunt. Then you lecture me about name calling, and you end by calling me an idiot. Which is exactly the same thing as calling you a dumb cunt, you dumb cunt. If you have the audacity, this is how stupid and how entitled you are. You think, I don't have to police my own behavior. I can call you an idiot. I can call you a douchebag. I can call you a creep. I can call you a misogynist. I can call you any name I want because I'm a woman and responsibility doesn't stick to me. So I'm going to end my stupid speech by calling you an idiot, even though I'm lecturing you about name calling. Only a stupid woman, only a stupid feminist would have the audacity to make such a fucktard argument. Okay, then you said, if men decide that I get to work, or that you argue that you're trying to use my logic against me and say, well, you guys claim that men should have authority in the relationship. Therefore, you're making the decision to have the baby or not. But that's not the argument we're making, because you're arguing from the feminist perspective where men don't have authority, where women get to make all decisions over their body. They're completely 100% autonomous over whether they have an abortion or whether they have a child or not, where they work, where they can go. That's a feminist notion. That's that's a feminist, autonomous feminist decision, autonomous feminist condition. We're saying that shouldn't be the way it is, and that's why it's so fucked up in society today. Men should be in charge of these decisions because they make better decisions. They have better mental capacity, better reasoning capacity to make the right decision for a woman. They should be making those decisions in a relationship. The fact that you're too dumb to even grasp that is indicative of why you shouldn't even be allowed to make the decision. You're saying you want it both ways. You're saying, oh, you guys say you're being in charge and that we should have the baby, but then we shouldn't be allowed to work or do this or that. You're mixing up the standards here. Right now, currently, women get to make all the decisions they want. We're arguing about your feminist logic being stupid. That's what we're arguing. You're saying, oh, Manhood Academy says that the man should be in charge. That's a different framework. That's a different frame of reference. If we're in charge, then yes, the responsibility would fall on us. If we made a bad decision for you, then yes, you could blame us 100% because we are in charge. But I'm saying because we would be in charge in that case. But right now, men are not in charge, so you can't make that argument that just because we say we should be in charge, that it's hypocritical. That if we say you should go out and make a baby, or keep the baby, or get rid of the baby, and have a career or not have a career. First of all, again, you guys are in charge right now of your own bodies. You have 100% say over whether you have a baby or not, whether you choose a career or not, whether you do it at the same time or not. That's on you, as it should be as an adult, and that's why you shouldn't be allowed to make that decision, because you're not an adult. You want to have it both ways. You're talking about feminism, and to say you're not a feminist is indicative of how dumb you are as a woman. You're trying to distance yourself from feminism just because you don't like the stigma. Just like you said, you think people are going to hate you, people aren't going to like you, people are just going to immediately discount your opinion, as if they're not going to listen to what you're actually saying, the substance of your argument. And we can tell from the substance of your argument, you sound 100% like a feminist. You want to have all the rights with none of the responsibilities. That is exactly what feminism is, as we have just demonstrated. Show you a woman who doesn't, you said, show you a woman, find a woman who doesn't want to travel, or hasn't traveled and hasn't sacrificed a job to travel. You know what? I can't go to a cafe right now and do that. I can't qualitatively find that because, or quantitatively find that number because it's not recorded. There's no census bureau that took that statistic. So you're right. I can't prove that to you. All I can tell you is from my stories, from what I've heard growing up, women are always talking about where they want to go on vacation, the flex time they want to work part-time so they can be free to do this, free to do that. So, okay, you got me. I can't show you the number, but neither can you. So I can just tell you from my experience, and I'm sure a lot of guys can back me up on that, as far as women working full-time positions, sacrificing, working at least 40 hours a week just like a man. And the numbers in the Labor Department, where feminists even got the fucking figure that women only earn 70 cents per dollar. That's where they got the numbers from. How many hours men and women work. That's where they're from. So the feminists hung themselves with their own stupid statistic. All they did was average out the number of hours that every man worked and every woman worked without taking into account the job, the nature of the job, how much the job pays. They didn't take into account any of that. They just averaged everybody out, threw all in a lump, and said, oh, look, you earn more, therefore it's unfair. That's like saying, oh, look at all, we're 4 people here who are farmers and 4 people here are doctors. Oh, look, on average, all the doctors are getting paid more, therefore it's unfair. What a stupid-ass argument. Only a woman, only a feminist would dare to make such a stupid argument in the face of all the evidence that says otherwise. You're talking about facts? Are you kidding me? You can look up the shit I'm saying. So to say I'm not saying I'm just ranting, it just shows what a dumb woman you are. You just discount everything. Just like a dumb woman, you can't specifically address any of my arguments because you have no intelligent rebuttal. Your only rebuttal is either censorship, as you've proven, you want to cut me off, you want to censor what I'm saying, or just demonizing the messenger, just demonizing what I'm saying, characterizing everything I said, all the facts I said as just ranting, as if it makes no sense. Look, it's a good thing that men are smart enough to see how stupid you are and to see how vapid and stupid your arguments are and how reasonable my arguments are, so that we don't have to rely on you characterizing my rebuttal as just an angry rant, a misogynistic rant. Okay, now we can go on to the issue you want to cover about education.
Go ahead, Jessica.
But a few of your points, actually.
No, we're going back again? I thought you wanted to cover it, because I got to go with new rebuttals then. Are you sure you want to do this?
I just wanted to point out a few things.
Yeah, but then I'm going to want to point out a few things too. So if you're okay with that, I'm okay with that.
Keep it in 1 point then.
All right. I'm going to give you 1 point back. Go ahead.
You spent like 10 minutes talking about wage disparity, and I didn't mention that. You said you were rebutting my points, but you were the one talking about wage disparity.
Which
kind of proves
what
my
part?
point that you're
Wait. In what regards?
You keep talking about wage disparity, saying feminists complain about it. Like, I've been sitting here going on and on about how women don't make as much as men, but that's not the case. I'm not arguing that. I'm not saying that women.
Why did you even bring it up? I mean, what's the point of even bringing up this woman who's saying there's other factors for why women don't earn as much as men? What's the point of even bringing it up?
I told you.
Inferiority.
That it's the point that she was making is women aren't inferior. It's not inferiority that's keeping them out of the positions. It's other factors, many other factors in many different positions.
Then what's the point of even bringing it up?
Because you think women are inferior.
Who said women are inferior? Who said? Wait. When did I say women are inferior?
Women aren't intelligent enough to make their own decisions.
Yeah.
Implies that they're inferior.
Okay, listen. It would be like this. What you're confusing, because you obviously didn't understand our ebook. If you have a womb and you're the one who has the function, the biological function of bearing a child, and let's say I try to compete with you and have a child against you, who is inferior and who is superior? You or me? And having a child.
Popping babies out. I'm superior.
Well, there's no real thought of inferior or superior, because I'm only inferior if I'm competing to have a child with you. If we're like in a race to have a child, obviously I have no womb, I'm going to lose. So I would be inferior in that sense. But it's not really inferior. I just don't have the function of having a child. So when we say women are dumb, aren't reasonable like men are, it's not saying inferior. It's just like saying I can't have a child. It's not saying I'm inferior. It's only if I'm competing for the function of having a child. Just like you're not supposed to be making these decisions because you're not bright enough to make decisions. And when you compete against men, it's shown that you're inferior, so to speak, which really means that's not your function. It doesn't mean you're inferior as a person. You still have equal worth as a person. Look, as dumb as you are, if you suddenly disappear from the planet, I would be just as equally fucked because I would go extinct very quickly. We need women to have babies. Everybody has a function. Even children have functions. So to say that you're inferior like you're a lesser person is a fallacy. You're not a lesser person than me. You're only a lesser person when you're competing for my function. It would be like if you were saying you're pitting us in a strength contest, right? To see who could lift more. You'd be inferior because you're trying to take my male function, which I'm the stronger one. I'm supposed to be lifting stuff. That's not your job. So you don't be inferior if you're trying to take my job, not inferior as a person. That's not your job. Just like I'm only inferior if I'm trying to have babies and I don't have the function to have babies. That doesn't make me inferior. It only makes me inferior in the competition, not inferior as a person. You're not inferior just because you're dumber than me. That's not your job to be smarter than me.
What makes you think that it's men's job to be smart?
Because this debate demonstrates why. You're too dumb to make decisions.
If you're using facts and logic, it doesn't.
Well, we'll hear from the audience, and we'll see what they have to say about your logic and facts.
This entire time.
Great. We'll let everybody decide who has been making a reasonable case, you or me. We'll let the public decide.
We'll let your general biased public.
Oh, I didn't realize I own the public. All right, I own planet Earth. I own planet Earth. Thank you for giving me all of planet Earth. I didn't realize I had such influence. I own the biased general public. That's how bright you are, and that's exactly why I should be making decisions.
From your website, the audience.
Well, I own YouTube, where this debate's going to be posted. I own YouTube. I own all the people who challenge us to debates here.
Involved in this are probably pretty biased.
Oh, probably. Okay, so we made a sweeping generalization of who's allowed to post, who's allowed to debate us. Have we? Hey, unlike you cowardly feminists, have we censored our critics? Have we censored our critics like you cowardly feminists? No.
I'm not censoring you. You're my critic.
Oh, sure you are. You already demonstrated you wanted to censor me. You tried to cut me off.
Like a 15, 20 minute rant. How am I censoring?
Look, you made these dumb rambling points. You were fucking rambling like an idiot, and I let you continue. What do you want me to do? You want me to cut you off? So if I use the same criteria you're applying to me, the same standard you're applying to me, I should have cut you off when you made your first idiotic point.
I didn't cut you off when you made your first
idiotic point. Yeah, you did. I have it on record. Of course you did. Are you too dumb to remember? Are you too dumb to remember you cut me off? Because we have it here. We've been recording. What do you mean you didn't cut me off?
I'm saying listen to it later on.
Yeah, we will listen to it, and you'll see how dumb you are when you see the part where I'm talking and you cut me off.
Excellent. Looking forward to it.
Okay, good. Let's continue. What do you want to continue?
What point did you want to cover about, there was another point you wanted to cover.
I wanted to say that he said that I said I wasn't a feminist. I never said I wasn't a feminist. I didn't say women aren't currently in charge of their own bodies. They are.
Wait, so you're not a feminist.
I didn't say that.
Right, but you say...
I said I am a feminist, but I'm not going to represent my argument from a feminist standpoint.
Right, and I already butted that. I already said you're too dumb to realize that it doesn't matter whether you call yourself a feminist or not. You're espousing feminist ideals. This is exactly what feminists say. So whether you say I'm not a feminist by name, you're still a feminist by definition.
All feminists all say the same thing, and that's not true.
Well, yeah, of course, but there's a general bent to feminism. It's not just your claim, according to you then.
Hey, I'm a feminist. These are my feminist ideas.
Well, then if you're a feminist, it should be, you're basically saying a feminist should have your views and all of my views too, because it doesn't matter. The labels are relevant. So if the labels are relevant, why would everybody even dare to call themselves a feminist? If a feminist can have any views under the sun.
What is the relevance to that?
Yeah, why even have the label feminist then? Why is it even necessary if you could have any, just as you said, a feminist can have any view under the sun?
That's what my initial point was. Whenever we started talking, that's what I said to you.
Okay, great. We'll throw away the label feminism, and I still rebutted all your dumb points. So whether you want to call it feminism or just your views as a woman or just your personal views, in either case, I rebutted all of them. They're still dumb.
Okay, and in your rebuttal, you keep pulling sentences and ideas that I didn't give out and trying to refute them like I did. How am I supposed to debate things back that I didn't even say?
Well, you're too dumb to understand even what you said, and you make me take notes on what you said, and so we'll just have to rely on the record. I mean, if you wanted me to respond immediately, I'll do that. I'll gladly interrupt you when you're making a stupid point and rebut it, if you'd like me to rebut it on the spot.
Fair things that I didn't say that an audience that I was sitting in the living room with earlier would laugh when you talk and be like,
Great. Have them come debate. Have those cowards, when they're done drying off their panties, they can come debate me too.
Like wasting the time getting yelled at by biased
Yelled. Okay, just as I said, women, I'm getting yelled at. Oh, I'm getting yelled at. Oh, it's a bad argument. I'm yelled at. My feelings. Oh.
I didn't say that.
Here's a hanky. Here's a virtual hanky. There you go.
I'm embracing it, if anything.
Oh, you're embracing it. That's why you're whining about it, because you're embracing it?
I'm not whining, and all I said was...
Wait, who said cunt? Who said... Wait, who said cunt? Wait. Which faggot over there said cunt? Which faggot over there said cunt?
He said that you called me a dumb cunt multiple times.
Yeah, good. Have him come on. Have him rebut me. Come on, he's such a brave guy. You rebut me. Go ahead.
He's brave. Say what he just said.
Yes.
What did you just say, John?
John, let's hear how brave you are. Go ahead.
Alright, so for the most part, the last, let's see, half hour, 45 minutes?
Uh-huh.
I've just been kind of, chilling here.
Right?
You said the word dumb cunt,
Yes.
at least directly called her a dumb cunt, probably, 70 times.
I wouldn't say 70. I'd say more like 20. I think you're exaggerating. Maybe 30, but not 70.
Fine. We'll agree. 30.
Okay,
15,
30, right.
But still, unnecessary use of, why...
Okay, now let me ask you a question, John. I agree. John, I did call her, I acknowledge I called her dumb cunt at least 30 times. John, let me ask you a question now, since you're such a bright guy. When she's busy over there lecturing me about calling her a dumb cunt and then calls me an idiot, ends it by calling me an idiot, what did you have to say about that, John?
My main point here is...
Oh, you have nothing to say about it. So in other words, you're a cowardly faggot white knight and you're not willing to call her on her bullshit. Is that what you're telling me, John?
Thank you.
I like how as people start...
John, tell me, John. I want you to rebut me. She just said, I'm an idiot, and I want you to comment on that. Intelligently comment on that.
Okay. My whole thing here is, you just seem like you're arguing super aggressively, but your ideas are just fucking shooting, your ideas are shooting around the room.
Look at what a faggot coward you are. I asked you a specific question. John. This is what a faggot coward you are, John. I said dumb cunt to her 30 times. She ended by calling me an idiot. You're such a faggot coward, you can't comment on that specific argument and say, what do you think about her calling me an idiot?
You're being an idiot. That's what I think about it.
Not you, you dumb cunt. I'm asking the guy over here, the white knight sitting next to you.
You have called me a dumb cunt.
I'm not talking to you, you dumb cunt. I'm asking John. John, are you allowed to talk, or is this cunt in charge of you? She got her hand up your ass and working you like a puppet, or are you allowed to answer?
Yeah, realize that.
John, can you answer, or is this cunt going to answer for you?
Okay.
Go ahead, I want to hear it. I want to hear your honest opinion. I called her a dumb cunt 30 times, which I already acknowledged, and she ended her moral finger wagging at me by saying, I'm an idiot. How do you respond to that?
I wasn't morally...
I'm not asking you, you dumb cunt. I'm asking the mangina sitting next to you, who's too fucking timid to answer for himself. I'm asking the timid faggot who can't... I like how you argued that women were too timid to just respond, and you proved my point. This timid faggot sitting next to you is too cowardly to answer the argument, and yet you have to answer for him. Do you have bigger balls than John?
John's drunk.
John's a pussy. Then he should have liquid courage. He should have twice the balls now that he's drunk. John, let me hear your drunken rebuttal.
He doesn't know how to deal with incoherent
Oh,
babble.
John, I didn't realize you needed a mommy to police you. You're not capable, John. You need a mommy to take care of you over there. Is that true, John? You're too dumb. You need a mommy to answer for you? Is she also your cock block when you go to a bar, John?
My cock block?
Impregnated whenever I was born.
John, can you answer the argument?
I honestly don't even... What are you arguing?
John, pay attention. John, pay attention. I called her a dumb cunt 30 times. Just follow the bouncing ball. I called her a dumb cunt 30 times. I said I did. She lectured me on that, how it's immoral, how it's bad, how it's wrong, and then she ended by calling me an idiot, John. What do you have to say about that, John?
I just think that there's no need to fucking, call people dumb cunts out of nowhere.
So you're harping on Margaret. You have no balls to comment on what she said. You're a faggot. Get the fuck out of here. Put her back on. You have no balls. Put her back on. Put the man in the room back on. Put the man in the room back on. Put John's tampon back in. John, go put your tampon back in. Go fucking menstruate somewhere else.
Both of you should still, get back onto the main fucking point of this entire argument, because literally for the last hour and a half...
John, you're not relevant to the debate. Go, Jess, go. Continue your point. He doesn't have the balls. He doesn't have the balls to answer like a man, so let you be that one with the balls in the room. Why don't you be the man?
I'm the one with the balls in the room, I guess.
You guess you are. This guy can't answer a simple, straightforward question.
I'm gonna get back to
He's
the
dilly-dallying like a faggot politician. I think that the debate you should not be bad to each other in the debate. Can't even fucking answer a straight question. What a faggot. So rude. He sounds like a woman. He sounds like a woman. So
From a
rude.
political viewpoint, I'd really like to emphasize Mill's argument.
He's a woman. He's telling me I'm rude. He can't even comment on the morality of it, whether it's right or wrong. He can't comment on the accuracy of it. He can't tell whether it's correct or incorrect. All he can say is, that's rude. It's, again, a tone argument like a chick. That hurts my pussy.
Okay, are you done?
Is he done bleeding? Tell him to fuck off, and you're the man in the relationship here. Why don't you debate?
2 minutes ago, man, and you've been going on about it.
Great, let's continue, bro.
From a political
Keep your hoe in check. Keep your hoe in check. Let's go, bro.
To emphasize Mill's argument that the moral and intellectual advancement of humankind would result in greater success for everybody with education, Mill argued that human beings are morally and intellectually capable of being educated and civilized. Doesn't seem like it here. He also believes that everybody should have the right to vote.
Snarky commentary really bolsters your point. That snarky commentary really helped you out there.
Yeah, the interruption also helped everybody understand the point. Thank you.
Your sarcasm's really working out, isn't it? Is it helping you out?
Barbarians and uneducated people. Those people should be the ones who don't have the right to vote. His argument is related to the fact that people should be able to vote to defend their own rights and learn to stand on their own 2 feet morally and intellectually. If you deprive a woman of the right to vote, participate politically, you're taking away her right to look out for her own interests.
Just like a dumb woman parroting somebody else's point that you don't even understand.
Moderator, please, can you tell him to shut up?
Quiet, please.
Sorry.
If you deprive a woman of education, you're taking away her ability to make decisions to look out for her own interests. And then you have the geographical argument, which is that education is beneficial to society because education for all is important to the economic success of society. If you want, you can look up the Asian tigers, which is Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, and Taiwan, but a heavy emphasis on education for both men and women at a high level because education has helped them develop their technological-based income. Education is important for the social development of society because when a woman receives education and access to birth control, the death rates and consequentially birth rates go down, leading to smaller population growth. In an already largely populated world with exponential growth rate, this is a very positive thing. And women who are oppressed all over the world for most of human history, historically...
Is this an argument, or are you just going to read a fucking story to us? I thought it was, where's the intelligent argument? Or are you just reading a bedtime story, somebody else's quote? It's not even your work, not even your thought. Let's hear your thought on it, at least.
That was my thought.
That was your thought? You're reading your thought that you wrote down?
Yeah.
You wrote all that?
Yes, I did.
Oh, great. Why don't you post it along with your argument?
Okay.
Can't wait. Okay. You want me to rebut now?
I wasn't done.
Keep going.
Women were oppressed all over the world for most of human history. You're saying that relationships would benefit from abolition of female authority and female access to education for women, when historically the only people, if you look, for example, at the period of the Renaissance, whenever the majority of women were uneducated, I like that, by the way.
How long is this rant going to go on? Or, I'm sorry, intelligent argument.
Okay. The majority of women who are uneducated, historically, if you look at periods like the Renaissance, and the only women who received education
How long is this argument going to go on? How long? I'm just asking. Is it like 20 paragraphs ahead or what?
How long does this debate have to go on?
It's up to you, but I'm saying I'm just going to have a quick rebuttal to all this nonsense, so go ahead. I'm just wondering how long it's going to be.
You knew how to do anything quickly?
How long is it going to take? Everybody's falling asleep at your nonsense. How long is it going to take?
If you'd stop talking, it'd be a lot quicker.
Can you at least tell me how many paragraphs you have of utter retardation that you're reading? How many more paragraphs?
1.
Okay, go ahead.
The only women who received education historically in periods of time like the Renaissance were prostitutes, and that's because they could give greater companionship with more intellect. A famous quote from a really famous courtesan named Veronica Franco, she was the most famous one, potentially, as she was being questioned by the wives of a bunch of soldiers she pleasured, she said that education is a woman's greatest hard-won asset, and she was referring to them because the women were questioning why their husbands have no interest in them. So education is important because education makes people more appealing in general. That includes women, whether you think that they shouldn't have it or not. And then from an ethical point of view, women are human beings as well.
Wait, I thought it was one more paragraph. How many?
This is the last paragraph.
So one more in addition to the next paragraph. How long, hold up your finger in inches so I can see how long this paragraph is.
Literally that.
Oh, go, hurry.
And you've interrupted me far more than I've interrupted you.
Yeah, but I didn't read a dumb fucking rambling statement like you.
No, you just talked for like 10
What do you want me to just type up the argument? Why don't you just type up the whole fucking argument? Why don't I type for 5 hours and just read a dissertation to you as a debate? Are you fucking retarded? You think that's a debate where I just read a fucking monologue to you and bore the audience to sleep? You have no brain power to argue your point with me? You're just gonna read a long monologue? What are you, a Shakespearean play? You Hamlet?
It's extremely clear that you don't know what a debate is.
You're too fucking dumb to debate me. You just proven that. All you can do is read a speech.
Now, if you don't mind, moderator.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Do you want this, Jessica? Do you want this to be a back and forth, or where both sides give long form answers? Because you seem to want it both ways. Pick one and stick with it.
You mute me when he talks, so I don't see how I could possibly.
Which one do you want? Make your decision. Which one?
One long speech. Please.
Okay, done. Go ahead. Finish your point.
So from an ethical standpoint, women are human beings as well. They're capable of the same degree of consciousness man's capable of, with comparable intelligence. Intellect is not defined by sex, and there's no study that definitively proves that or even comes close. Show me it, please. I'd love to see it.
You're
please,
a prime example.
Not some men's rights activist talking.
Don't worry, all you have to do is hear you speak.
I've read so many of those articles in the last couple of days preparing for this.
So many.
Bullshit.
Oh, God, this cunt. When is she gonna be done?
I'm done.
Okay, sweet.
I was gonna read it.
Professor, rebuttal.
Okay, we've already rebutted this in a previous debate. All I gotta do is, I don't even need to rebut this historical argument. It's so fucking ridiculous. Please just listen to our other debates about this topic. It was even done as much as uneducated as our opponent was in a previous debate. At least it was better stated and it was more listenable than this utter garbage and nonsense. I mean, if you need to see that women are as smart as men, all you gotta do is look at this dumb cunt trying to argue against me, and you could realize how dumb women are and why they shouldn't be educated. They're a waste of taxpayer money. They're a drain on the economy when you waste money educating a dumb cunt like this. This is the result of her education, ladies and gentlemen. This is her education speaking right now. I don't need to rebut it. You're debating me. Your argumentation is my rebuttal. You've hanged yourself with your own words. I rest my case.
Well then, let the case be.
All right, Jessica, last word from you, and then we'll go to audience reaction.
Okay. For the last word, because I'd hopefully like to end this soon. Do you mind? You can respond to this immediately. Do you mind if I point out a few things that I saw from your videos today that I'd like to address?
Well, this is going to be a long thing. If you want to have no time limit, and I'm fine with it. I can debate you as long as you want. I'll leave it up to you. We can continue it again, or we can just do it right now. It's up to you.
Okay. I guess I'll just make a closing statement if you don't mind.
Okay, completely up to you.
So, from the way it seems, the goal of this academy isn't to eradicate feminism, but it's rather to reinstate economic and social oppression of women. I don't know why we're even having a debate. You should just move to India or Kyrgyzstan where you can kidnap a woman without legal support and do whatever you want with her. Instead, you're doing the exact same work that feminists do. You're forcing false assumptions and false logic into an argument where it doesn't belong in order to make it seem more controversial, in an attempt to make the lives of men better or easier based on ideologies that you yourself deem completely true, despite how potentially damaging or threatening they are to any individual's happiness, success, or well-being. So you're a feminist, basically, is what I was saying.
Okay, my closing statement is you're a dumb cunt. I've already proven it. Let's go to the audience. Good enough.
Okay. All right. So your reaction.
I just two things that I thought were really good. One, you're talking about women need to be educated, women need education. You know, it's so good, and yet Professor has to help you install the program. Secondly, you're quoting,
I'm sorry, install what? I'm sorry, Snakey guy, install what? You're not giving context. Somebody knows what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm sorry. Earlier, when you tried to get on the debate, you couldn't install the Zoom program we used to host the debate. You need to get on Skype with Professor for him to show you how to install it. Secondly, you're quoting a man to make your argument. You're quoting a man to say why you should be educated. You can't even intellectually reason your own argument. You need to get a man to do it for you. So why should I believe anything you say about you need to be educated if the education doesn't do anything? You have the evidence that it's useless.
Thank you. Wino, your reaction.
Can't hear you.
You had issues.
You have to start over again. Your mic was muted.
I thought the same thing. I thought, this girl is so dumb she can't even install the Zoom fucking program. Granted, I wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt because, maybe there was maybe another issue that came up with you installing the program, but that was the first thing that discredited you. Then, just like every other woman that professors debated, you start by presenting what may seem like an intelligent argument. But then as the debate goes on, you start getting angry at the way that professor debates instead of focusing on what he's debating about. Just like a woman. If you were so mature and you were equally as smart as a man, shouldn't you be able to focus on what he's talking about, on the substance of the argument instead of how he argues about it? Isn't that the important thing? That's it.
All right, thank you, Wino. Feelings, your reaction.
There was one point she had quoted some sort of doctor about the reasons why women are not inferior to men in the office, in the workforce, and she said that there were qualitative differences, such as women being meeker or or what was it? It was
More timid.
more timid. Number one, I don't know how that benefits your argument. Why would you want a timid CEO? Or why if there were qualitative differences that women were more timid, how does that qualify a woman to be in a position of authority? So I don't think that helped your argument. Also,
Arguing that women should be in a position of
Can
authority.
we hear from the audience? Who's in charge here?
also, I thought it was hypocritical that you were saying that Professor was calling you a cunt when it was okay for you to call him an idiot.
I never really said
Jessica, I'm going to mute you. This is audience reaction time, not debate time. The debate's over. Feelings, finish your point.
Also, so clearly you weren't focused on the substance of the argument. When John was being called out on it, he didn't even focus on the argument. He just said, well, you called her a cunt, and then Professor said, well, why is it okay for you to call him an idiot? He completely ignored the answer, or the question. He didn't even answer it. So, in a feminist mind, you would think, oh, well, you called him an idiot because he's acting like an idiot. That's what you're thinking. But in what Professor's thinking, you're acting like a dumb cunt. So it's equally, it has equal grounds. If he can call you a cunt, then you can call him an idiot. It's because that's what you are. If he's an idiot, that's what he is. If you're a cunt, then that's what you are. And John failed to answer that question.
Thank you, Feelings. Jeebus, your rebuttal, or reaction. Jeebus?
Can't hear you, Jeebus. Jeebus, turn on your mic.
We'll move on. Trailer, your argument, or rebuttal.
I want to hear from Jeebus. Jeebus, turn on your mic. Keep trying to speak while Trailer Trash goes. Unmute your mic.
I was really bothered by this. Your mic's working?
No. Trailer, finish your reaction. We'll go to him afterwards.
Alright, I was really bothered how Jessica, the debater, she wasn't even paying attention. You were giving all these reasons how, hey, women are not working in coal mines. They're not protesting, hey, we need to work in coal mines. She wasn't even paying attention to your reasons. And when you said, hey, they always talk about we want to be CEOs, but they never talk about we want to be in coal mines, or we want to be in dangerous jobs. She's not paying attention. She's looking around. She's making faces. She's not even rebutting that. She's like, well, she's not even giving any statistics for that. But then she completely ignores it, and then later on she's like, this is what some author said. And I'm like, is she even listening? And she's like a little child. I mean, you're giving all these reasonable points, and this little child is like, she's looking around and not even addressing what you said. And I'm like, it's once again the same thing. Professor reasonably debating a child, who's like in this. She has maybe she goes to college, but she still behaves like a child, and she can't debate like an adult. So it's bothersome. It was really bothersome. And then I was thinking, why is this happening? Because like her faggot roommate, guys give her permission to be retarded. She's so dumb and she's so oblivious. But she's so loud and dumb, and she's oblivious. So it was really bothersome. And I hope her white knight boyfriend doesn't end up like Roger Elliott. Because he was frustrated, but he may not shoot her because she's so fat.
That's a low blow. That's a low blow.
Amazing reaction.
Could you please, GBE? Could you please caution the audience member? That was a low blow and very disrespectful.
It was bothering me to see Fatty talk like that. It was bothering me.
No more low blows against Jessica. Jeebus, go ahead. Your reaction.
Yeah, I don't support his comment, Jessica. I just wanted to be on the record. I don't support his comment and that he made at the end. That was bullshit.
Alright, so the professor shut up for a very long time while Jessica gave this long retarded speech, and then when the professor starts giving his speech or his reaction, like 5 minutes in, you just want to cut him off. Like, what the fuck is going on here? All I gotta say is that guy kind of needs to join the academy, and Canada is gonna take an L for this.
He said Canada's taking. He said Canada's taking an L.
Your reaction.
Canada's taking an L. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Canada's taking an L.
Yes, that's what he said. Canada's taking an L.
All right.
Yeah, Canada's taking an L.
Your reaction.
One of the points, I think this was when she was quoting the man whose intelligent points she was copying, said, women need their rights to protect their own interests. Women can't protect their own fucking interests now. They rely on the government, on handouts to support them. They can't protect their own interests. They're always lobbying for this, lobbying for that. Oh, the Violence Against Women Act. It's so bad to be a woman. So even now, they're just trying to replace a man in their life with the government. They're still not self-sufficient. So that's bullshit. And the other thing I wanted to say was, I just feel bad for your boyfriend or roommate, whatever he is. He needs this academy. So that's all I gotta say.
Thank you, Pouty. High School 101, go for it.
All right, I was especially paying attention to Jessica when you were talking about something about your the woman that you cited, that women are timid and shy in the workplace. I mean, you pretty much defeated your own argument. That says it right there. You're not even never mind paying attention to Professor. You're not even paying attention to yourself, and that pisses me off personally because I'm an engineer. I would not want you in my classroom. I mean, if you raise your hand and say something stupid, all the guys are gonna defend you. I wouldn't want to have to deal with that. It's hard enough for me as it is. Just maybe not paying attention to the double standard. Look, I've been in my classes. If I don't pay attention, the teacher will call me out, and other guys will laugh at me. If I made an extremely stupid mistake, they would laugh me out of the room. I mean, the fact you wouldn't get that, I would want to see you receive that same treatment. But the fact that you can't take it, that just shows how hypocritical you are.
Thank you, High School. Cool Bro Kid Hot, go.
Can't hear you.
Oh, we can't hear you, Matt.
Turn on your mic.
Sorry about that. I would have liked to see the debate of more of a, you start making your point and then the other person jumps in and corrects you when they don't agree with it. I thought this whole long monologue, rambling thing that you guys both did, I didn't like it because it was hard to follow what you guys are arguing about. I think it would have been a better debate that way. And also,
I agree with you 100%, but we leave it up to our opponents, and that's the fucking problem that we have to deal with. Because otherwise they're going to accuse us of talking over them. We always get that common accusation.
And then when you were talking about when you guys are on the topic of women in the workforce and how they work part-time and things like that, women do work part-time. They work part-time all the time, and they do take these long sabbatical vacations. I just had 2 girls in my office that quit, and they're traveling Europe for a couple years, and they quit their job. So it's like, right there is evidence of the whole invisible wage disparity that you're talking about. And lastly, it's like, most of your arguments where you were just quoting shit from other people. It's like you didn't even have your own thoughts or anything. You're just, oh, here's a quote from so-and-so, and you're going off reading this shit. And it's like, I could go on Google for that. Are we debating Google, or are we debating a woman who's supposed to be intelligent? And just because you quote somebody that is supposed to be this high-esteemed person and, oh my God, they're so intelligent, and here's a quote from them, doesn't mean shit. Hitler was popular too. Should I start quoting Hitler and be like, oh my God, it must be true. We should exterminate the Jews. Hitler said it, and he's popular. He's important. That's all I got.
Hardcore.
Thank you. Attention Hall. How appropriate a Jew to give the next reaction after we just talked about Hitler. Go ahead, Attention Hall.
I agree with that.
A Jew is going to follow that Hitler
comment.
comment.
Guys made, but the one thing that keeps sticking in my mind is how stupid this debate was. It was, the professor was just pointing to things that we've covered in so many other debates. I don't know what this girl was hoping to accomplish. Because, seriously, just listen to our other debates. We cover why girls are not intelligent. I mean, I told my brother this, and he took a step back and was like, holy shit. Consider the fact that girls, with all their equality, with all their benefits that they're getting, the world's still in a shitty place comparatively. We've got millions of people in jails because of women. So this whole idea that giving women more is good, that's bullshit.
Wow.
Thank you.
A Jew who followed the Hitler comment. He was worked up. That was hardcore. Thank you guys for attending a wonderful episode of Man Academy Debates. We'll see you next time.
We are Sex Bomb, and we're here to make you think about death and get sad and stuff.